Hi, I'm Adam Kuns, and welcome to
Drumline Techniques!
I've been involved in the marching arts as a performer and an educator for over 20 years, and I want to help you get your drumline skills up to speed. We're going to talk about the snare drum, the tenor drums, and the bass drum, and how to approach each one and the differences and nuances of each instrument. There's no limit to the amount of music that you can learn on your own once you have these essential skills developed in your hands. So as we go along, we're going to be joined by the award-winning Royal High School Drumline, which I've taught for a long time, and they'll be showing all the exercises, and they'll be demonstrating it both in sections and as the full drumline, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, and let's get started. Okay, starting off on snare technique. If you played concert band or drum set before, there's a lot of similarities, but I think there are some key differences in the way that we're going to hold and manipulate the stick. First of all, this is a heavier implement, typically, than what we're using, much heavier. And the head that we're playing off of is much higher tension. It's going to, in general, require more muscle involvement than hitting like a snare drum on a drum set or a tom-tom. So that doesn't mean we have to squeeze more and add tension. It just means that there's a little bit more muscle involvement, specifically in our forearms and our hands. So the way to build this grip, start with your right hand, put it out in front of you, make a fist, and then relax that fist. Okay, your fingers naturally curl. I have to extend my fingers to make them uncurl. Okay, right here, this is nice relaxed. I can put the stick right in my hand. I play Vic First sticks. I can put my thumb right on the flag on the stick or right on the flag in the H. Okay, from here, I'm going to make sure I have no gap between these. If I start creating a gap here, this is going to create inconsistencies from player to player. Okay, so it's not wrong, but I find that if I get rid of that gap, I have more direct motion, like more control over the stick, and it's easier to get 5 people to do this than 5 people to have the same amount of space in their hand. So if you can see above, if you hold the stick like this normally, or like this, where my fingers are all spread out, we're going to close those in. We're going to put our fingers together, and we're going to close that gap. From here over the drum, I want a straight line, essentially from my elbow to the beat of the stick. Okay, our sticks should make a nice 90-degree angle, so this should be a nice 45-degree angle. And it is. I feel relaxed here. My elbow's not tensed. And I can hover 2 inches over the drum and still hit it and feel comfortable. Okay? That's the right hand, and that's really all there is to it. When we're getting up to accents, often we'll use the outside release, which is breaking the wrist slightly to get our stick back up, to get some momentum on the stick. Okay? If you've followed any of the drum channel lessons that work on molar, we're going to use a slightly, I would call it a modified molar. It's just not going to be as extreme of a motion. We want to keep our motions small and dexterous. So if you practice this, which I do this is what I do on drum set. On drum set, instead we're going to play. My wrist is coming up no more than an inch for that motion. Okay, left hand, you'd imagine if it were raining, if this camera started spraying water on us, the water would hit the palm of my hand here and run off. It would not pool in my hand. I'm not holding it down like this, and I'm not holding like this where it wouldn't hit the palm of my hand. So if you're looking above, this is too closed, this is too open, this is just right. It would hit the palm of my hand and run off. We want to make a nice little triangle with our fingers. From here, to rotate a full stroke, you're going to need to rotate your wrist, this muscle here, and your elbow. And instead of having a huge wrist break, which is again what I would do on drum set, to solidify our motion, we're going to make it very small, a very small wrist break. Okay, we're not going to let our fingers fly off the stick. I do that on the drum set sometimes. We're going to try to keep this triangle. The way I was taught is you keep the integrity of the triangle on your left hand. Okay, we want to have that always in place. Okay, even if it moves around a little bit, my hands aren't, I'm not changing my grip while I play. That's the fundamental of our snare grip. We're going to close this gap on our right hand. We're going to make sure our thumb is touching the knuckle. We're going to make sure these fingers are nice and relaxed. We've got a nice strong grip on the flag of the stick and the H. We can open up our hand for nice relaxed strokes. Same thing, we want to keep these fingers relaxed, but we're not going to let them fly all over the place, and we're not going to do sign language while we play. We're going to hold our stick, keep the integrity of that triangle, and from here, we'll be able to get everything else that we need to play on the snare drum.